Yo guys, Not a Please here, and I'm back with another video of the UBC. This time we're facing Darth Vader, the Scarborough Staraptors. Now, if you look at the record, you're going to see 1-5, so you're going to assume, oh shoot, that guy may not be that good. No, Darth replaced the person before, and I believe this is his first game on the UBC after the other dude left. So this record here doesn't matter because Darth is like taking over. He's taking over. That's not his record. And so looking at it, so we're 5-2. That's a pretty good record. You know, I'm proud of that. It started off 2-2 when Greg left. So I had 3 wins so far, no losses, and I really hope to keep that up. It won't be easy though because while Mega Camrupt does destroy his team, like look at his switch-ins, they're like almost non-existent. His Diggersby, same thing applies. You know, Bulu reduces earthquake damage, but a return or a gunk shot, that thing's Bulu's not going to handle it very well. And you know, I could possibly bring Scarf Bulu, but it has a bad matchup. It doesn't break Bronzong, doesn't break Shaman, Drudgegon, Zapdos, so you know, I'm really weak to that Diggersby. But at the same time, he's weak to Camrupt. Regarding everything else, honestly, I think the rest of the matchup is fairly even. You know, okay, looking at his team, you know, he's got Zapdos, Alakazam, Diggersby, Cryogonal, Tentacruel, Bronzong, Shaman, Clef, Mega Sableye, Drudgegon, Magmortar. You know, none of these, besides the Diggersby, are too significantly threatening. I will tell you, Clefable will be pretty annoying to deal with because while I do have a few solid checks, it can still potentially hinder them. Like, you can run T-Wave, Knockoff, which would hinder these two a bit because they depend on their items this game. And Mega Camera, it could have Water Pulse, which is a bit weird, you know, a bit too specific, but you know, it could. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. Let's get on to the All right, so before I start, I want to say I'm gonna try to keep them. I'm gonna try to put the matchups on the side right here, so you guys can see them as I'm going through the team builder. But if that doesn't work, I apologize. So yeah, so jumping into the matchup. Of course, I already mentioned Camrupt destroys his team. We got the Stabs, which destroy him. Stealth Rocks, because Stealth Rocks are needed, and they go better on Camrupt than these two. Flamethrower is just for accuracy. Like, I was going to run Flash Cannon for Clefable, but then Fire Blast does more anyway. And Flamethrower is just if I don't want to miss, and I'm hitting something that can take ground moves. EV Spread, pretty simple. Max Special Attack, because, of course, maximize power. The 16 speed is to outspeed his Mega Sableye, because after Mega Evolving, it does speed tie with Mega Sableye. And you're resting HP, because, you know, bulk. Yo. Alright, so next we got the Nihilego. This time we have the Payapa variant. A little weird, but it's really to take on Alakazam, because if you notice, Alakazam is also another threat. It's not that big, especially compared to Diggersby, but, you know, it can hurt. Oh, sorry. It can hurt pretty well, because, like, oh, we got the Porygon, right? But, you know, then it's just, like, knockoff potentially would get rid of Eviolite. You know, Shadow Ball would hit Jirachi, 2 KOs it, my set, and you'll see that in a bit. So yeah, but at the same time though, I really wish I ran Marico, because as you can see, I don't really have a way to OHKO Alakazam, for sure. I mean, definitely after an Acid Spray, but I'm not going to outspeed it, so that doesn't even matter. Looking at the moveset though, we got Thunderbolt, mainly for Tentacruel. We got stab moves, because they're good for this game, they hit stuff super effectively. Sludge Wave, including Clefable, Shaman, Power Jump, including Zapdos. Acid Spray is to help me beat Mega Sableye, in case it's like a Calm Mind variant. Because as you can see, I don't really have a good way of beating a Calm Mind variant Mega Sableye. Actually, I do, but you'll see that in a bit. And yeah, this is just another way to beat it. And then speed, alright, EVs, so this is to outspeed base 100, Shaman basically. And maximize power, and rest in HP. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Next we got the Shuckaberry Jirachi. This is, as if you haven't noticed, this is a lure to Diggersby. Not a lure, but just like something that can eat a move. Because Diggersby is a threat. Look at this team, man. I got nothing that can take on both Earthquake and Return, so I'm in big trouble with this team. So yeah, so Jirachi has got the Shuckaberry for that. And a Calm Mind set. I really like Calm Mind this game. It's just thinking about like a physical Jirachi with the things he has, like Drudgegon, like a Zapdos. I just didn't think it was that efficient, especially with that, with no setup option really, because I'm not going to run Power Up Punch. He has a Mega Sableye, and so, and you know, other things that can take a Power Up Punch and still be able to take on Jirachi well. But Calm Mind, on the other hand, he's looking a little less vulnerable. Now, okay, a little more vulnerable. I mean, sorry, my bad. So Calm Mind, of course, for the boost. Psy Shock to hit Tentacruel harder and to beat a potential Calm Mind Clef, because as you can see, no Steel Stab. Now, why no Steel Stab? It's a bit of a risk. And basically, I kind of needed the other moves. Energy Ball, Shadow Ball is for Bronzong, because if I had Flashcan here, the set would actually get walled by Bronzong. And is Bronzong gonna come? Possibly. It takes on Nihilego extremely well. Takes on Porygon well enough. Sorry, I shouldn't have shown the set. But it takes on Porygon well enough, and it takes on Tapu Bulu really well. So I see it as a possibility coming. So okay, so we got the Shadow Ball for that. Energy Ball is to help me to a KO Diggersby before a Calm Mind boost. Because this is meant to take on Diggersby, right? So I wanted a way to beat it one-on-one, not needing a Calm Mind first, then to a KOing with Psy Shock, which is another approach. I just want Energy Ball just as a quick way to 2-hit KOing it, if it comes down to that. Looking at the EV spread, Max, pretty simple. Speed tying with, Shaman. And, yeah, I'll be honest, man, this EV spread is kind of rushed, because I kept going back and forth with physical or special Calm Mind. Like, back and forth. And, yeah, but it's not, if I could redo this EV spread, I would still keep a lot of special attack to a KO Diggersby with Energy Ball, so it's not like that bad. But it's just like, I wish I went through it more, maybe put more in Speed F or HP. Next, we got a Pangoro. We got the Roselia Berry, mainly for Alakazam if it's going to run Dazzling Gleam. It could run Focus Blast, but that's really only for Porygon, honestly. And so he could just run Knockoff and switch out, just not wanting to get T-Wave. So, yeah, anyway, so that's why I think Dazzling Gleam is coming. That's why I have the Roselia Berry. And it also helps me check Clef. Then I got Scrappy to hit Mega Sableye. Like I said, this is my other approach to beating Calm Mind Mega Sableye. Just coming in super power hard. Super powers for Stab, as is knockoff. Ice Punch is mainly for Zapdos, but then it's also just, let's see, he's got Shaman. Although that takes takes more from Gunk Shot. And so, yeah, Gunk Shot, I already mentioned, is for Clef, really. It's for Clef. It's to take them, with the few speed EVs to outspeed Clef, very likely, and hit it with a Gunk Shot hard. And then so, maximize power, rest in HP, so I can take the Dazzling Gleam as well as possible. Yeah, so, I'm sorry if I'm rushing. The battle's a bit long, so I want to, get through it pretty quick. Next we got Porygon, the Porygon 2. This is Eviolite, of course, because good item on it. And I went with Trace, because he has a lot of good abilities I can trace. Like, for example, Magic Guard from 2 Pokemon, Alakazam and from Clefable. Also, Natural Cure from Shaman, Magic Bounce from Mega Sableye, and a lot of other abilities, too, that are good. So, yeah, and then Recover for, obviously, Recovery. Ice Beam, so, of course, Bolt Beam, it's good versus every team, but more specifically, stuff like Diggersby takes Ice Beam pretty hard, Zapdos, and Shaman, so I thought it was good coverage. Discharge is honestly just for really Tentacruel, but then to also possibly paralyze his team, because, it's a 30% chance. Then we got Foul Play to help me beat Bronzong and hit Alakazam hard. EV Spread, more so Spadef to take on his special threats like Alakazam, as I just mentioned. Shaman, Magmortar, Cryogonal. Although, Magmortar and Cryogonal aren't threats. I got Nihilego for Magmortar, Bar Earthquake, and Jirachi for Cryogonal. Yeah, so moving on, we got the Wham! We got Tapu Bulu. Wham's the best band out there. No argument needed. Just the best band. We got the Rockium Z. Really, it's to help me with the Zapdos, to be honest. Because Woodhammer into Rockium Z kills it. Although it can kill me if it outspeeds, but I see him going more defensive. And if it outspeeds, I can determine that from the damage calc, right? So, yeah. We got Woodhammer, Stone Edge for Zapdos, I just mentioned, and Mega Horn for Shaman. Nature's Madness. Okay, so I was thinking about running Horn Leech. Or not Horn Leech, it was a different move. No, it was Horn Leech. Nature's Madness, sorry about that. Nature's Madness is to help me hit Bulu hard, help me hit Druddigon hard without needing to take possible Rough Skin Rocky Helmet damage. And it's honestly a filling move. I really didn't need much else. I just needed these 3 attacks. I could have gone Horn Leech to help me recover, but I wanted Nature's Madness for the damage output. Speed, it's to help me outspeed a Zapdos that could have possibly been speed crit. could it possibly speed creep for my team? Honestly, it was really hard to decide because his speed tiers in the middle are a bit almost non-existent. Like, he has faster mons and mons that are way slower. He doesn't have mons that are really in the middle. So it was really hard to determine the EV spread for this, but I gave it enough to basically outspeed a defensive Zapdos with some speed investment, because I think that could be coming. Alright, that's the team builder. We're going to check out the actual... Alright, here's the game. Here's the matchup right here. I was a bit surprised to see no Mega Sableye, but it makes sense why he didn't bring it. Obviously, he brought the big threat, Diggersby, and the secondary threat, Alakazam. Clef and Zapdos, good support mons here. Tentacruel, also good here. I was a bit surprised, but it makes sense. I mean, it does really well versus my team. You can knock off Rapid Spin, Scald Burn, Camera Check, you know, all that. Druddigon, also a bit surprised, but then at the same time it made sense. You know, stuff like Shaman and Bronzong, they're good, but they're not like that good. They're not very necessary. Like, he can still win without those mons. So even though I was expecting Bronzong, I'm not that surprised to see it not coming. So looking at the matchup, it's going to be a bit hard because Diggersby, I'm going to... So right off the bat, I should say, this is actually our second time playing this. Because first time, turn 1, I led off with Porygon, he led off with Diggersby. I should lead... We did the same lead the second time, and I'll explain why I restarted as we just go on through this turn. Right, so turn 1, he knocks off. He gets a crit the first time, right? Then I go for Ice Beam. And now, in the first time we played this, I got a freeze. And I was like, sorry. And then someone, Azari's like, well, if you really mean it, you'd restart. And then, like, he wasn't serious. But that got me thinking, like, maybe I should. Because, thinking about it, I froze his obvious win con. Like, at that point, it'd be super easy to win. And I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I've been winning... It's not so much recently, but I've been winning a lot of games due to hacks lately, the past few weeks. Like 2 weeks ago, I was winning a ton of games only to hacks, and I was getting really mad at myself for it, because it's like, God, it's just so unfortunate, because like, those wins don't feel very satisfying, because you only win with hacks. It's not like with actual skill, and it's just those games don't feel good afterwards. And so, this would have been another one of those games, but it was only turn 1, so I was like, yeah, let us start over, right? I know I'd be giving myself a huge setback, because obviously freezing Diggersby would probably help me win, to be honest. I mean, I think it basically, assuming he'd stay frozen for a few turns, it'd basically be a 6v5, and that missing Pokemon would have been his win con. So I decided to start over, and this is how it went out. Same thing, except no knockoff crit, but honestly, that doesn't matter. It's the freeze hacks that mattered, and that's non-existent, and that's gone now. So yeah, and he goes for a knockoff turn 1, and then that really made me assume, okay, he might be Scarfed, because the damage just doesn't show Band or Life, it doesn't show Banded, he has no Life Form. So I thought, okay, maybe it's Scarf, because, thinking about it, Scarf Diggersby does make sense, for stuff, mainly Nihilego and Drachi. So I thought, okay, now at this point I really thought he'd switch out, because I'm assuming he's Scarfed, so I go for the Discharge. Aha, see, I made the right prediction. I do not get a para. And so, yeah, at this point, I'm like, okay, alright, this is a bit tough, right? It can knock off me. Or, maybe maybe go for a Scald. Or it wouldn't Scald, but just knock off or Toxic. So I was thinking, okay, what do I do? Then I realized, wait, no, he already knocked off my item. He's not going to go for a knockoff. So I just honestly decided to stand, go for another Discharge. And yeah, he goes into the Druddigon. No para there either, which is fair. I mean, I'm not going to complain about hacks after I restart a game due to hacks. Now this is getting a bit tough because, like, what am I to do versus Druddigon? It can get up. If it's offensive, that's just going to be scary, especially since I lost my Eviolite. I can go for rocks, and that's going to be a bit of a hindrance because I don't have removal. I have no good switching, so I stand in Ice Beam. But as you can see, he goes into Tentacruel, and I'm like, okay, now, clearly, he's on the bit of a behind, because, like, as you can see, he's just switching out, so I just stand in Discharge, because I'm like, I'm not risking anything, but, he reveals Toxic, and I'm like, darn, do I get a para? No para, third Discharge, no para, god damn it, no, it's fine. Again, I'm not going to complain about hacks after I start over, because, yeah, so at this point, I'm just thinking, okay, now what do I do? Do I predict him to stay in? Do I predict him to switch out? Ooh, let's see. I go for the discharge again. Oh no, sorry. I go for recover. Oh my god, sorry, my bad. I go for the recover, and yeah. Now he has a Clefable out, and I have a lot of Clefable checks. I have 3. That's a lot. And so I was saying, okay, which one to go into? At this point, I wanted to go into Nihilego. I thought it'd be the one that put me in the best position. Because Tentacruel comes in, it's getting weakened, right? Zapdos can't take a hit. Druddigon, depending on his spread, won't be able to take 2. Basically, I just think it's the best mon for me to bring out here. And as he goes for Wish, now I was like, okay, is he unaware? Because, like, Wish on a Clefable when you can run Softball. So I was really thinking, I was like, okay, is he unaware? But then thinking about it, what does unaware beat? It could be Swords Dance Pangoro, right? But it's just super niche, to be honest. And he has a Zapdos with some speed investment can outspeed. Anyways, I don't think that's a big deal. Set up Jirachi, maybe, but who would use a Clefable to beat a Jirachi? You know what I'm saying? That's just weird. So I was still convinced he was Magic Guard, to be honest. As now here, he goes for the Wish. I just stay in and go for the Sludge Wave. But then he goes into... I go for the Thunderbolt predicting Tentacruel to come in. Yeah, as you can tell, I looked through the replay, but I still forgot a few plays, to be honest. I'm sorry. But yeah, then he goes into Diggersby. Now his wish comes true. And I'm starting to realize, okay, is this thing... It could still be Scarfed. It could still be Scarfed, right? So I go into Bulu. Wham! Right? And he goes for a knockoff. And I'm like, oh, okay. Good. Now the... it doesn't matter. He didn't knock off anything because I'm a Z-move. Now, you know, this isn't a free Wood Hammer because he has a Druddigon right there. But it is free damage in the end. I'm telling you, man. Damage output here is going to be huge. You know, like what Trump says all the time. Huge, or whatever. Alright, so basically, I didn't care what would come in. I just, Zapdos, alright, that's fine. I got a crit too, which is really cool. But static, dude. It's ecstatic, dude. That was really important. That para was crucial. How crucial was the Wood Hammer crit? At this point, I don't know, because I'm paralyzed. But then again, it's a 30% chance. I'm not gonna but okay, the 3 times I go for discharge, 3 or 4 times, no para. The first time I hit this thing, a para. Oh man, this game hates me. All right, this game just hates my, my honesty, my what's the phrase called? Just the respect I have for this game to start over after getting hacks. The game just thanks me with hacks. Alright, so at this point I'm predicting a Roost of some sort, just Roost to recover. And so with that being said, I don't want to stand, because if I just don't want to risk Bulu taking so much health, so much damage, because even though it's paralyzed, it can still help me check Diggersby. So I decided to switch out to Nihilego right here. And as you can see, he does Roost. So now I'm in the bit of I thought I was in a really good position here, because I was like, oh, now I can fire off a hard-hitting Power Gem, right? But here's the sad part. This Diggersby isn't Scarfed. It's Assault Vest. Because that Power Gem did a lot, but if you missed it, it was a crit, so that's why I did so much. But then I realized, oh shoot, this thing's Assault Vest, so now I really have to switch around carefully, because, I can switch up moves now. And now that I realize I can switch up moves, so I just stay in, because I know, okay, if I go into Bulu now, he can just Earthquake the turn after. Or no, he can Earthquake the first time, but then just, Return or Gunk Shot the turn after and kill it. So I just stay in, predicting a return. I predict right. Oh, but it does so much damage, dude. It's just okay, so I stay in for 22% damage. This is really bad, because obviously that did nothing. I was heavily considering Grass Knot this game, but Diggersby only weighs really light, so it only does 40 base power. And then it's 80 base power, because it's, super effective, but still 80 base power isn't enough for a move that's already super effective, with the super effective damage taken into account. So now I switch into Bulu. Back into Bulu. Because he's going to Earthquake now because of Grassy Terrain wore off. And as you can see, that is correct. Now at this point, I just go for another Wood Hammer, dude. I don't want to use my Z move now in case he stays in. Because that would set me back so far. Even though it was unlikely for him to stay in, I didn't want to... Excuse me, I didn't want to risk a play that would set me back even further than I am right now. As you can see, that Wood Hammer does nothing. 32.5. to Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet trudging on, and the recoil. Jeez, this is bad. So now I fire off my Z move to get as much damage on this thing as possible. I was surprised how it's bad, to be honest. I just assumed it was, but it still lives. And I'm like, no, let's go for some rocks. So yeah, now this is bad, dude. I'm so far behind. I honestly, at this point, I saw myself losing, to be honest. But I don't give up. I don't give up. I'm realistic. I mean, at this point, I do think I've lost, but yeah, I don't give up. I don't give up. Just to be clear. So now he switches out into Zapdos as I go for another Wood Hammer because it was in range anyway, and I wouldn't have to risk missing the Stone Edge. But in hindsight, I should have gone out to Mega Camerupt. As you can see, I do go into it now, but I should have done that earlier before getting off the Wood Hammer. Oh, and just to be clear, when I saw that Hidden Power, I was so scared. I was like, Jesus Christ, this Hidden Power Water predicted me, but no, I'm pretty sure it's just HP Ice. So thank God, thank God. It could be Hidden Power Flying. I'll be honest, I didn't calc it because the damage was so minimal. But I think HP, it's HP Ice for Zygarde. He was expecting Zygarde to come. So yeah. Oh, just to be clear, I should have brought Zygarde, but I was just thinking about the Shaman and the Cloud. So. Alright, but I'll save the hindsight for later. So now I go for Earth Power because no way he's going to stand if he can only do 22% to me. And so yeah, got the first kill now. It's kind of funny how behind I was these like first 19 turns, but I'm the one to get the first kill. Now, you know, that kill honestly doesn't really matter because now he goes into the Diggersby. Oh shoot, what do I do now? So yeah, now I just think, okay, I want to keep Pangoro because this can take a Return or Earthquake from Diggersby from full. That's really good. Definitely not going to switch it into Nihilego. I don't want to pop the Shuka too early. So at this point, I hard switch into Bulu just to sack it off because it's a pretty good sack, you know what I mean? It's already weakened anyway. That's the thing, it's so annoying because all the grassy terrain gave him like, he was at like 50% earlier, right? But then all the grassy terrain just put him back at so high. Now at this point, I don't expect him to stay in, so I go for a Calm Mind. Right? And watch. Ha ha ha, that works out to my favor because he's forced to switch out. And now I go for a Psyshock just in case he's like hates or whatever, but check this out. He is unaware Clefable. That should have done more. I did the calcs, it should have done more. And that really made me mad because, like, and not like in a salty way, but I was just like, grr, if I had Flash Cannon, I would have been able to beat this thing and potentially win the game from here. So I wasn't like mad at North. I'm not saying like North, how dare you be so strong. You know, I'm not like one of those people who like sends those really long paragraphs saying, yeah, no offense, I know you won, but here are a few plays I disagreed with. No. Even though I do think Unaware Clef is weak, it makes sense for Zygarde. I'm just saying, like, using it as his answer to Jirachi, yeah, it's a bit clever. It's a bit clever, because, as you can see, I just go into Jitterupt, you know, the Camerupt, and he goes for a Wish, so I guess he was, like, pulling the risk there of whether or not I had Flash Cannon. I guess he just, also, he could have had the feeling, because of me not he could have predicted me to not have Flash Cannon, because of all the moves I will need to beat his team with a Calm Mind Jirachi. You know, like Shadow Ball, maybe. And potentially Moonblast to actually hit Mega Sableye hard. I originally had Moonblast on the set, then I replaced it with Energy Ball to hit Diggersby hard. Note that Energy Ball doesn't hit Diggersby harder now because he has the Assault Vest. But this Wish, he goes for a Wish, but you know, I'm the one with my Wish granted because I asked for a free kill, right? And I go for the Earth Power because I'm predicting the Tentacle to come in. And yeah, Shuka Berry, right? But it still dies, so it's no harm. So now we're starting to get somewhere, right? 2 annoying Pokemon down. Alright, you know, that's good. Especially his bulky ones. So, you know, looking at it now, you know, we're pretty... Oh, no, never mind. All that I said before, never mind, because he has the, oh my god. The Diggersby. Sorry, I said oh my god, because I thought I forgot to record, but I am. My bad. Alright, so I just go into Porygon 2 as a sack, because even though Porygon 2 is good for, helping me... I don't know. Beat Alakazam. That's really it, because Zapdos can Roost Stall. Clef can beat it entirely. Yeah, so an Earthquake, just sack it off. What else can I say? So now I go into Pangoro here, because Pangoro can take a hit. Sorry, let me pause. Can take a hit from this Diggersby and possibly kill it with a superpower. Although I don't want to go in for a superpower, because if he goes into one of his 2 good fighting resists, it really won't do any damage. And so I go for a knockoff right here, because knockoff, it doesn't kill Diggersby, but I just don't think he's going to stand, because he knows that he won't be able to kill me, so he's going to switch out into one of his 2 good fighting resists, take the knockoff. But here's the thing, if I knock off Clef and knock off a potential Poison Berry, I kill it with the following Gunk Shot. So that's why I like this idea of knockoffing here. And so, yeah, so I go into this, and he goes into this, sorry. I knock off, fortunately no static, and I get rid of his Charty Berry. And I was like, oh, okay. That's why, so the, earlier this means that when I go for that Wood Hammer with Bulu versus the Zapdos that came in, and I got paralyzed from static, the Continental Crush would have lived if it wasn't, if I didn't get the crit. So, I'm saying Hacks was saved by Hacks, or whatever. Point is, like, it wasn't really, I'm saying the static wasn't really that significant. Especially if I didn't get the crit. So now I go into Camera Up, because this is basically meant to take on Zapdos at this point. And, yeah, now I go for late game Rocks right here, which is kind of dumb, to be honest. I mean, okay, not really dumb. He has a Clef, but with a Clef that's unaware. But then Diggersby takes 6%, Alakazam takes none. It was really pointless, to be honest. I should have. But then again, this was a sack anyway, so it doesn't matter. Honestly, better to get up Rocks than nothing. Alright, so now at this point, right, I go back into the Pangoro, because I still take the return. And now I go for Superpower, because this Clef, it resists it, but it's unaware, so it won't really, the stat drops don't matter. And so yeah, I go for that Superpower. Does good damage. Now I go for the Gunk Shot, right? Oh, he has the Poison Berry and he lives! Oh, but watch, I live. So, you know, okay, it's not, but it just sucks so much, dude. Like, I was like, damn. I go for the Ice Punch to kill it off, nothing else to really say there. And at this point, he goes into Diggersby again. And he reveals Quick Attack, which wouldn't matter, because, I mean, I don't have Bullet Punch, and I wouldn't have gone for it there. Now, at this point, Psyshock doesn't kill, so I need to go for a Calm Mind first. And I have the Shucker Berry, so I can take the Earthquake. Bam, that did a lot. Now, at this point, I died a Shadow Ball, to be honest, so it's looking like a GG. I go for Psyshock, it dies, so that's good. That's good, right? That's good. Oh, can I take the Shadow Ball? I won't kill it with the Psyshock anyway. No, I cannot. And, yeah, so, yeah, I have the Payapa Berry, but this is an Alakazam. This thing's powerful. It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a GG. Now, what do I have to say about the game? This is my first loss in the UBC, and I really want to talk about it. It was a very good game. Like, I think Narth and I both really played well. Of course, I think, honestly, I should have utilized Mega Camera Up earlier. Because, you know, Narth thought really smart with Diggersby. He just let it off turn 1 to hit hard as he can. I'm not saying I should have let off with a turn 1, especially since that would have left me behind in momentum, but I'm saying I should have brought it out earlier as the game went on. Especially like during versus Clef, I should have just went straight into that, because he doesn't have a good thing to switch into it afterwards. I didn't really think like that with Nihilego. I didn't realize that, oh wait, the Diggersby can actually take the hits really well, and that's what really threw me back. This game was definitely winnable. It's just like, I didn't really, my hindsight wasn't, well, of course, you know, hindsight's 2020, but my insight during the game wasn't very clear. I really should have utilized Mega Camera Up to better. And Narth pointed out at the end, he's like, oh, dude, I was so scared of that thing. And I was like, yeah, I was really scared of your ground type. But, yeah, like, that's the difference between us. He used his ground type better than I used mine. Everything else, though, honestly, I don't think I played badly during the rest of the game, despite always being behind. There was, like, no realistic position I could have brought myself back, especially when Tapu Bulu got paralyzed. That was the critical, that was the turning point of the game, in my opinion, early on back there. Yeah, looking at the game, looking back on it, you know, first L being 0-1, it's not even bad. Like, I'm not, like, I'll be honest, I wasn't mad about the game, but it's just, like, the fact that if I didn't restart, I could have probably won, because without a, you guys saw, how many kills did Diggersby get? Alright, killed the Porygon, right? Killed the, Bulu. Let's see, what else? Killed Camera Ups. Killed Pangoro. 4 kills, dude! So just saying, this thing's powerful. But I like this game, and I like playing games I have a hard matchup in, because it forces me to think beyond just like team building, like during the game itself. I've had friends like Azar who have had those shittiest matchups, but they pull the game back. Except, well, he lost to Haxus one time, but the matchup was so bad. Like, it was still, I still consider it an achievement for Azar, like how well he played that game despite losing, because like he lost to Hax. He won skill wise, he just lost to Hax. And so my point is, it's just like, I really want to learn how to beat win games despite not having the matchup. In this game, I didn't even have like a bad matchup. It's just he had one mon that destroyed my team, just like how I had one that destroyed his. And yeah, so let me know what you think about the game, feedback, all of that, yada yada, in the comment section down below. You know, hopefully we'll have a better week next week. We're playing some guy. I saw his team the other day, but I don't really remember his name. He wasn't like a well-known player. All right.